Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, Counter-Spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve.
Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet.
Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into a time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
Crime drama this time around with episodes of Mr. District Attorney, Big Town, Dragnet, yours truly, Johnny Dollar, and Claudia. That's all straight ahead on this Friday. This is the 19th day of April, 110th day of the year, 256 days remaining till we get to 2025. Charles Duryea claims to have driven the first automobile in the U.S. on this date in 1892 in Springfield, Massachusetts. Joan of Arc received beatification from the Catholic Church in 1909. 1927, Mae West sentenced to 10 days in jail for obscenity for her play Sex. In 1933, President Roosevelt announced the U.S. would be abandoning the gold standard. In 1934, Shirley Temple debuted in Stand Up and Cheer. RCA-NBC began regular television broadcasts on this date in 1938. And in 1951, General Douglas MacArthur spoke before Congress on this date about communism.
The communist threat is a global one. Its successful advance in one sector threatens the destruction of every other sector. You cannot appease or otherwise surrender to communism in Asia without simultaneously undermining our efforts to halt its advance in Europe.
And in that speech before Congress, MacArthur would retire from the military by quoting an old West Point barracks ballad.
Old soldiers never die. They just fade away. And like the old soldier of that ballad, I now close my military career and just fade away.
MacArthur would kind of be a candidate for president in 1952. His campaign never got traction because he never really campaigned for it. And because of that, another general came in, General Dwight D. Eisenhower, and would become president of the United States. In 1956, actress Grace Kelly married Prince Rainier III of Monaco. 1987, The Simpsons made their television debut in a short Good Night, a segment for the Tracy Ullman Show. 1989, a gun turret exploded on the USS Iowa, killing 47 sailors. An investigation would find that one soldier, Clayton Hardwick, responsible for the explosion.
We know that he talked of dying in an explosion. We know that he talked of dying in the line of duty and being buried at Arlington National Cemetery. And we have an FBI profile by FBI psychologists with the opinion he took his own life and hoped it would look like an accident.
But later investigations would prove less conclusive. The investigation quietly closed. In 1993, the 51-day siege of the Branch Davidian building outside Waco, Texas ended when a fire broke out. FBI spokesman Bob Ricks.
We never went in. We did not introduce fire into this compound. It was not our intention that this compound be burned down. I can't tell you the shock and the horror that all of us felt when we saw those flames coming out there. It was, oh my God, they're killing themselves.
81 people would die in that siege, Waco, Texas. 2 years later, the Alfred P. Murrah Federal Building in Oklahoma City would be bombed.
Everybody, let's get out of here. Now.
Federal building on 5th is going to be your main target. You have half of the building collapsed all the way from the roof down. The building north of that on 6th Street, you've got the roof completely gone, and it looks like it's caved in through a couple of floors in that building.
It's very frustrating for firefighters because there are some areas where we're reaching and touching people, but we just can't get to them. They were carrying several children out of the building, giving them to parents, putting them in their arms. Now, the ones I saw seemed to be breathing. They were covered in blood, and I mean small children, looked like under the age of 6.
It looks like something that we expect to see on national news in Bosnia or somewhere, and unfortunately, it's hit us here in Oklahoma City.
It looks like his left eye has
The bombing in Oklahoma City was an attack on innocent children and defenseless citizens. It was an act of cowardice, and it was evil. We will find the people who did this. When we do, justice will be swift, certain, and severe.
I guess we pulled 6 dead babies out and a couple of dead women. And it's just the most devastating. Everything fell on top of us. It's the most devastating thing I've ever seen in my life.
It's just like an atomic bomb went off. The ceiling went in and all the windows came in.
The whole building shook, and then everything just started crashing down on top of you, and you just kind of hit the floor and waited till it all stopped.
Take it home! Take it home! Hold it up! Take it home! Damn it! Go! Go, Kurt! Hold on!
It's just total chaos. Blood everywhere. We're pulling out bodies and putting them in body bags, just laying them on the ground. It was just unbelievable. Something you'd see in a movie, like a war zone. Just bodies laying around, and it's nothing you'd want to see.
168 people died that date in 1995. And the questions remain, investigations remain, and a lot of unanswered questions. In 2005, Joseph Cardinal Ratzinger elected Pope Benedict XVI on the second day of the papal conclave in 2005. 2011, Fidel Castro resigned as first secretary of the Communist Party of Cuba after holding the title since July of 1961. 2013, Boston Marathon bombing suspect Tamerlan Tsarnaev killed in a shootout with police. His brother later captured hiding in a boat inside the backyard in the suburb of Watertown. And in 2021, the Ingenuity helicopter became the first aircraft to achieve flight on another planet. Passing away on this date in history, Charles Darwin, Ruth Hussey, and Vice President Walter Mondale. Among those born on this date, Eliot Ness. Yes, there really was an Eliot Ness. Also actor Hugh O'Brien, for whom I am named. Now, wait a minute. Wyatt Cox? Hugh O'Brien played Wyatt Earp in the 1950s. And my mother had a crush on him. And rather than name me Hugh, she named me Wyatt because he played Wyatt Earp, Dick Sargent of Bewitched fame. Also actress Jane Mansfield, born on this date. Dickie Goodman. Some very funny novelty songs in which he would ask questions and have them answered with pieces of popular music. Dudley Moore, born on this date. And the man who wrote Little Green Apples and Honey and wrote and sang a song called Saturday Morning Confusion. Bobby Russell, born on this date in history.
Hi, this is Jeff Foxworthy. It is now time for the birthday announcements. The following people are now officially older than dirt.
Among those still with us, Eleanor Donahue, Betty on TV's Father Knows Best. Eleanor Donahue, 87 today, from the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Tim Curry is 78. Indy racer Al Unser Jr., 62 years old. Actress Ashley Judd, 56. From the Pineapple Express and Spider-Man, James Franco is 46. And the daughter of Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn, Kate Hudson, 45. And from Star Wars Episode 2 and 3, Hayden Christensen is 43. Those are a few of the people who celebrate the 19th day of April as their birthday. If this is your birthday...
Hi, we're the 4 freshmen, and we just want to say, Happy birthday to you!
And we'll get cranked up with David Bryan as Mr. District Attorney, going back 71 years to April 19th, 1953, in the case of the Murderous Good Samaritans. That's next.
Are you suffering with anxiety, depression, PTSD, an eating disorder, or even a substance abuse problem? If it's causing problems at work or with your family, get help now. At Insight Mental Health and Wellness, we help and treat all types of depression and mental issues. We will help you use your insurance to get away from it all, to a beautiful, sunny, and tranquil vacation-like environment, so you can recharge yourself. And with the Family Medical Leave Act, you could take the time off you need from work. Plus, with the Affordable Care Act, your treatment could be 100% covered. If you're suffering from any kind of anxiety, depression, PTSD, eating disorder, or even a substance abuse problem, use your insurance and get away from it all. Come to sunny California. Call Insight Mental Health and Wellness now.
800-281-8944. 800-281-8944. 800-281-8944. That's 800-281-8944.
Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Now we get started with crime from 71 years ago, April 19th, 1953. David Bryan as Mr. District Attorney.
Mr. District Attorney, starring David Bryan. Mr. District Attorney, champion of the people, defender of truth, guardian of our fundamental rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
And it shall be my duty as district attorney not only to prosecute to the limit of the law all persons accused of crimes perpetrated within this county, but to defend with equal vigor the rights and privileges of all its citizens.
Now, here is our star, David Bryan, as Paul Garrett, Mr. District Attorney.
A district attorney knows that murder can strike any place in his county, at any time. This case started on a rainy afternoon on an almost deserted highway west of the city. A man is sitting in a stalled car. His face brightens as a tow truck pulls off the road beside him. Painted on the door of the truck are the words, Joe's Garage.
Hello.
Hello, you having trouble?
Yeah, wires got soaked coming through that low spot back there. She chugged and spluttered a ways and then conked out on me.
Well, I guess we can get you started again. Get the squirt gun, Rusty. Okay, Joe, you want the tarp too? Yeah. Raise his hood, then tent the tarp over it so the rain can't beat in while we're working. I'll give you a hand. You just stay there and keep dry, mister. We'll have her perking in a minute.
I'm sure grateful to you. What are you going to do?
Squirt a little carbon tetrachloride on the ignition wires. Better release your hood.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, Rusty. Lift her up. You handle it all right?
Sure. You fellas sure you know what you're doing?
What do you mean?
Well, I can't see how you can get them wires dry by squirting them wetter.
That's a mechanic's trick. Squirt them with carbon tet. Carbon tet cuts through the water and runs it off, and the carbon tet evaporates, and there you go, dry wires.
Well, it's okay with me if you say so.
Don't worry. When it rains like this, I do more business along the highway than I do at the shop.
Wires are all sprayed, Joe.
Okay, close the hood.
Okay to try it now?
No, you give it a second to dry out good.
Oh, boy. A couple of drops of water ran down my neck.
Oh, it's only a mile up the road to Wally's Cafe. We'll stop and warm up after this fella gets moving.
Good. I think I'll stop up there myself. I've been sitting here for more than an hour. Only other car that came through barreled right past. Where are you bound for? Just back to town. I'm a real estate agent. Just closed a sale on a piece of property up at Hilldale. Hey, that thing ought to be ready to go now, huh, Joe?
Yeah.
You can try starting her now.
Oh, good. Here's hoping.
Try it again.
Well, that trick of yours really works, doesn't it?
Never missed yet. Missed bludder a little while until you get moving, but watch the puddles. You'll be okay.
I sure wish there was some way of thanking you fellas.
Well, that won't be hard to do. The charge is $15.
$15?
We don't stand out in the rain for fun, mister. You were stuck, weren't you?
Yeah, I was stuck, but $15 seems like a lot of money for 3 minutes' work.
Now, look, I got a nice warm garage where the prices are regular, but working out here is a little bit different. Charge is $15.
I haven't got $15.
What are you, a wise guy? You told us you just sold a piece of property.
$5 is all I have on me that's my own. The real estate money belongs to somebody else.
Well, then you can borrow it until you get home.
All right. But don't think I'm not going to report this to the sheriff's office.
You report it any place you want. You just pay me.
Except for the 5, all the money I've got's in hundreds. You got change?
You being funny.
I'm telling you, it's all $100 bills. That's the way I was paid. You want your money, I'll meet you at that cafe you mentioned and get change.
Wally wouldn't have change for 100 in that crummy joint.
The change ain't the problem, Joe. The problem is whether or not this guy's really got $100 to begin with.
Yeah, that's right. Let's see the color of your money, mister.
You're not seeing anything. I've decided to go to the sheriff's office first before I pay you.
You think we're going to stand here in the rain and argue with you?
Hey, give me those car keys.
Come on, mister. Out.
Let go of me. Let go of my throat.
Pay up. Never mind the conversation, Joe. You got hands and he's got pockets.
No.
Stop this kicking, Rusty.
Yeah, I'll stop it.
No.
Hey, look. He has it, all right. Must be close to $1,000. Well, what do you say, Joe?
He'd report it when he comes to.
We can fix it so he won't. Look, he's going to sign a complaint against us anyhow, that wise guy. Where's your nerve?
Got as much nerve as you got.
All right, then grab his feet and let's take him into the bushes.
Yeah.
Still mighty wet from that rain yesterday, Chief.
Yes, muddy, Harrington. You should have taken those boots Corbett offered you.
Yeah, I'm all right. Well, here's the body. I thought you should see it before it was moved into town.
You checked the body for identification?
Mm-hmm. License description fits. Name's William McShane. He was a realtor. What are you looking at?
What's left of those footprints around the body?
Oh, the lab says they're puddled up too much to help. Rain washed the edges away.
He was carried in here by 2 men.
Oh, walked in with one.
No, Harrington, he was carried. If he walked, there'd have been some mud on the soles of his shoes, especially at the joining of the heel. His feet never touched the ground after he left the pavement.
The ignition keys to his car were lying right there beside him. Good thing the state trooper investigated when he found the car abandoned this morning.
Any sign of a weapon around? There must have been one, with his head the way it is.
Well, the lab boys figured it was a large rock they found over there. Some indications of blood on it. It was almost washed clean by the rain, though. They didn't want to leave it here, so they wrapped it up and took it in for examination.
It doesn't sound like it'll help much. Some of the blood might have held, but the prints won't. Now, let's get back to the car.
All right. There it is. Just the way the trooper found it. Door on the driver's side open. Seat and steering wheel soaked with rain.
Well, he might have gotten out to fix something. Tires are all okay.
Well, if he did, he finished it before he was killed, because the car runs. I checked it.
He stopped for something. Pull the hood release. Let's have a look at the motor.
There's no sign of any fresh tool marks. Wires haven't been taped anyplace.
No, but look.
Huh? What?
Sort of a thin white film on the wires. Distributor and coil connections, too. I want the lab to check that.
Morgan's still here with the mobile unit.
He'll be able to work better indoors. Have him tow the car to the nearest garage. What was the name of that cafe we passed? About a mile up the road.
You mean where the trooper met us? Wally's.
Good. When Morgan finishes, he can radio his findings into the office, and Miss Miller can relay them to us at the cafe by phone. Meanwhile, you and I can get some breakfast.
Right.
Well, what'll you have, gents?
How about ham and Chief?
Sounds good.
Not to me, I'm out. You settled for bacon?
Yeah, sure. Okay with you, Chief?
Fine.
Excuse me a second.
Never mind. I'll take it. We're expecting a call here. Hello?
Hello, is there a Mr. Garrett or a Mr. Harrington there, please?
This is Harrington, Miss Miller.
Oh, I just called to tell you that Morgan is taking the car to a place in Hooperville, about 2 miles closer in, Joe's garage.
Okay, we may be in there before he's through.
The medical examiner's report just came in, too. He says McShane was killed sometime yesterday afternoon.
It's a long time. Okay, Miss Miller. I'll tell the Chief. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Anything?
Yeah. Medical examiner says McShane's been dead since yesterday afternoon.
Not long.
So he says.
That car was standing out on the highway for a long time then. I think somebody would have stopped seeing the door open in that downpour.
Yeah, you know how people are sometimes. Everybody's in a hurry.
Yeah. How about the car?
Morgan is towing it to Hooperville, 2 miles. Place called Joe's Garage.
Here you are, gents. Say, did I hear you mention Joe's Garage?
Huh? Oh, yeah.
You going in there for anything?
Possibly. Why?
Mind doing me a favor if you do?
Sure. What?
Ask Joe to bring out a fan belt for my pickup next time he passes this way, huh?
Fan belt. All right.
That's why I ain't got no ham. I couldn't make a trip in for supplies this morning. Tried to get him on the phone a couple of times yesterday, but I didn't get no answer.
Well, Ray might have kept him busy.
Yeah, I guess so. I just missed flagging him down on the road yesterday afternoon. I saw him coming around the curve. I expect him to stop, but he didn't. Just went barreling by in his tow truck.
Yesterday afternoon, you say?
Yeah, about 4 o'clock, headed for his garage. I should have run out and signaled him. I sure didn't have nothing else to do. The darn rain. I bet I didn't shove 3 blue plates across this counter all day. Big breakfast trade this morning, though. Excuse me while I get on them dishes.
Yeah, sure. That garage tow truck must have compassed the spot where McShane's car was found, Chief.
Yes. Ordinary drivers might have passed the car with the door open like that. Seems to me that a mechanic would stop, though. Doesn't it to you? Especially in that rain.
Yeah. Of course, maybe the car wasn't there yet. Medical examiner couldn't fit the exact time of death. Might have been there too long before he got to it.
Well, if the garage man didn't see the car, it'll be some help anyhow. We'll know McShane was killed after 4 o'clock.
Yeah. I was Could that be Miss Miller again so soon?
You want to get that?
Yes. I'll take it. Hello?
Mr. Garrett?
Yes, Miss Miller.
Mr. Garrett, we located McShane's wife. She just came into the office. I think you'd better come in and talk to her.
Does she know anything?
McShane sold a piece of real estate yesterday. He called her after he closed the deal. He was carrying $1,200 cash and $100 bills.
We'll be right in. I have to skip breakfast now, Harrington, and get back to the office. McShane's wife is there.
Oh? Did she give any line on a motive?
$1,200 he was carrying.
Ah.
Here's your money, Wally.
Oh, but you didn't eat nothing. What's wrong with it?
Well, just a rush business call. We'll see you next time around.
Well, hey, you'll remember about that fan belt, won't you?
You better try reaching the garage on the phone again. We're not stopping there after all.
Oh, well, thanks anyhow. Hurry back.
$1,200 in cash. You know what it sounds like to me, Chief?
What?
Somebody who knew he had that money followed him and forced him off the road.
Yes. That's the way it's beginning to look to me, too.
At
now back to David Bryan, starring as Paul Garrett, Mr. District Attorney.
A man had been murdered and his car abandoned at the side of a rain-drenched road. His wife gave us our first indication of a motive, $1,200 in cash that the dead man had been carrying. We questioned her further at my office.
How did you know your husband was carrying the money, Mrs. McShane?
He telephoned me from upstate after he made the sale.
Wasn't a cash transaction a little bit unusual?
No, not with the Atherton sisters.
Mrs. McShane, did your husband have anything else of value on him? Anything of his own, I mean.
I don't think so.
Jewelry of any kind?
Oh, a wristwatch. That's all.
There was no watch on the body, Chief.
Do you know what make it was, Mrs. McShane?
No, I just know he had one, that's all. He wore it all the time. I never gave it no special notice.
Could you describe it?
Gold, leather strap. I don't know. All men's watches look the same to me.
Well, would you know it if you saw it again?
I don't think so. I don't know. Can I go now?
Yes. Thank you for coming in.
Here, let me get the door for you. Oh, Miss Miller. Hi. I didn't mean to close the door in your face.
Oh, it's all right. I knew she was upset. I didn't want to come in until you'd finished with her.
What is it?
Morgan just called about McShane's car, that film on the ignition wires.
Well, what was it?
He said carbon tetrachloride residue.
You have any ideas how it got on there?
Yes, sir. He said the car must have been stalled with wet wires and the carbon tet was sprayed on to dry them off.
Where would he get carbon tetrachloride on a highway?
Was there any in the car? Did he carry a fire extinguisher or anything like that?
Morgan said no. He said somebody must have helped McShane spray the wires, somebody who had the equipment like a mechanic.
Chief, that guy at the roadside cafe, Wally, he said
I know. The tow truck from Joe's garage. Go to the teletype room. Get out that query to the Atherton sisters on the serial numbers of those bills. And then meet me down at the motor pool in the basement. We're going to visit a guy named Joe.
Hey, is that all you got to do, Rusty? Throw playing cards into a hat?
What would you like me to do?
Well, give me a hand with this fender.
No, thanks. I'm no grease monkey. I only work for you when it's raining.
Oh, you're a sweet guy. A real sweet guy. When it comes to taking the gravy.
So what?
Well, I think it's a good idea to keep working, that's what.
So who's stopping you?
You!
Hey, here's another customer. Work yourself to death.
Which one of you is Joe?
Me. What can I do for you?
County Lab brought a car in here this morning.
Oh. Yeah. That's it over in the corner. Gray sedan.
I know. My name is Paul Garrett. I'm the district attorney. Sometime late yesterday afternoon, during the rain, that car was parked off the road about a mile past Wally's Cafe out on State Highway 27. It was stalled with wet ignition wires. Somebody fixed it with tetrachloride spray.
Wally said he saw your tow truck pass out that way at about 4 o'clock.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess he did.
Did you see that car out on the highway yesterday?
Well, I can't say for sure. Yeah, maybe.
I guess you're going to be busy for a while, huh, Joe? I'll call you later.
Sure. Sure, Rusty, you go ahead.
Oh, if you don't mind, I'd like you to wait just a second, please.
Well, sure. I don't work here, though.
Just wait.
You keep saying maybe about that car, Joe. How about making it yes or no?
Well, I did stop for a gray sedan out on 27. Yeah, I guess it might have been that one. Lots of gray sedans around, though.
Not yesterday, there weren't.
Then you did get that car started?
Yeah.
Was the driver all right when you left him?
Well, yeah, he was all right.
You still want me to wait?
Oh, I almost forgot about you. No, I was just wondering if you might have been with Joe when he fixed McShane's car.
Oh, no. I'm hardly ever around here.
He just happened to stop by today. I see. Well, thank you.
You're welcome. So long.
Oh, by the way,
Yeah?
I think my watch has stopped. What time have you got?
Just 20 past 2.
Thanks. Yeah, that's a good-looking watch. Keep pretty good time?
Yeah, right on the dot.
Looks like you've had it for a long time.
Yeah, quite a while.
You must have gained a lot of weight since you bought it.
Huh? I don't get you.
The strap is getting too small for your wrist. A badly worn mark on the leather band there where you used to hook it through the 4th hole. You're wearing it hooked through the 2nd hole now. So long.
Yeah, be seeing you around, Joe.
Well, Harrington, I guess we might as well get back to the office. So long, Joe.
Gee, what the devil were you
Never mind. Did you pick up those playing cards I signaled you to get?
Yeah, I had a tough time figuring what you wanted for a minute, though. All I could get was a few of them while they were talking to you. They're in my pocket.
Hey, don't touch them any more than you have to until we get them to the lab.
But what's the idea?
Well, those cars are greasy. They'll be covered with clear prints. Joe's and that other fellow's who just happened to stop by. I want to know if either or both of them have records.
Ah, now I get it. And that wristwatch business.
Well, that wasn't his watch. And from the size of him, I figured that his wrist would be just about 2 notches bigger than McShane's. I want McShane's car moved to the police lab.
How you making out, Chief?
Prints on the playing cards were good. They're running the codes through the machines now to see if we can match them. Car in yet?
Yep. Morgan's got it down the garage in the basement. No, here comes Miss Miller. She has a couple of identification cards, all right.
Here they are, Mr. Garrett. Both men have done time, all right. Good mugshots, too. Robert, Rusty, Allison, and Joe Fowler there.
Good. Get these down to Morgan in the basement garage right away. See if he's getting anything like these from under the hood rim of McShane's car. Especially Rusty Allison's prints.
Yes, sir.
Oh, Chief, what about the serial numbers on the currency?
Here. The Atherton sisters had a complete list, much to my surprise.
Has that gone out yet?
To every bank and store in the city, and all the transportation companies, in case anybody decides to run. Let's go up to the office and wait for Morgan's report.
Mr. Garrett.
I wanted that stuff to go down right away.
Well, I didn't have to go down. Morgan was coming up when I reached the elevator. He found what you wanted.
Rusty Allison's prints on McShane's car?
Yes, sir. Right where you told him to look. The rim of the motor hood.
Well, that does it, Chief.
Yes. What time is it?
It's only 4:35. Why?
I just wanted to be sure we could get to Joe's garage before he closes. Tonight we'll close him for good.
Place looks like it's shut down, Chief.
Get out and look around.
Yep. Locked all right. Only 5 after 5.
And his service truck is gone. He wouldn't make a run in that.
Now, wait a minute. Sign on the door there, written in pencil. Out on service call. An emergency. Phone Elmwood 4677.
Elmwood 4677. I've seen that number before, earlier today. And so have you.
Huh? When?
When we answered the phone calls from Miss Miller at Wally's Cafe.
Hey, that was the Elmwood Exchange.
And Wally wanted a new fan belt for his pickup. Come on.
I hope he's still there.
I hope more than that. I hope Rusty is with him.
Yeah, that does it. All I got to do now is tighten the generator, and she's fixed. Hand me the wrench, will you, Rusty?
Now, why don't you keep things where you can get at 'em?
Oh, never mind. I'll get it myself.
Okay, get it. Just don't look to me for free labor.
Drop dead.
Say, you two ain't in some kind of trouble, are you?
What makes you ask that?
Well, just the way you're acting, that's all. Two fellas here this morning wanted to know all about you passing on the highway yesterday during the rain.
Yeah, and you had to tell them, too, didn't you big mouth hair slinger? Why don't you go out in front and tend to your cooking?
Don't you go calling me names, jailbird.
What was that?
You heard me, you're an ex-con.
Who told you that?
I hear things.
Well, you keep hearing all you want, but if you ever tell anybody, especially the two guys that were here this morning...
Why? Because of the guy who was killed up the highway?
Oh, Joey, this guy needs a little lesson.
I wouldn't do that if I were you, Rusty.
What? That's a pretty interesting conversation you boys were having.
I thought you weren't with Joe when he came by here yesterday, Rusty.
I wasn't.
Then how did your fingerprints get under the hood of McShane's car?
Get something, Joe! Look out, Chief! You all right, Chief?
Yeah, just dizzy.
I had the fire. He'd have split your skull open.
He's dead.
I had nothing to do with this.
We know you didn't, Wally. Just get out front and call for a police ambulance.
Yeah.
You're gonna pin this on me, aren't you? You killed him, and now it's all on me. Look how he get a break. It was his idea.
Sure. It's always the dead man's idea. He can't contradict you. But you were there, weren't you, mister?
What'll they do to me?
Can't you answer that one for yourself?
Huh?
Yes. What did you do to McShane?
Now, here is the star of Mr. District Attorney, David Bryan, with a word about the program you have just heard.
With Robert Rusty Allison dead, Joe Folliday made a complete statement and agreed to enter a plea of guilty to a charge of murder in the second degree. He was sentenced to prison for the rest of his natural life. And now this is David Bryan inviting you to join us when we present our next case based on the facts of crime from the file of Mr. District Attorney.
Mr. District Attorney was originated by Phillips H. Lord.
"71 years ago, April 19th, 1953, David Bryan, Mr. District Attorney, here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. I want to tell you tomorrow we're going to have an interesting mix of shows. The thread among all of them is they're all broadcast on Sunday, April 20th, 1958, with Frontier Gentleman, Luke Slaughter of Tombstone, Gunsmoke, and Suspense. That'll be coming up tomorrow. Right now, Edward Pawley and Big Town and the Case of the Iron Fist.
President Biden recently released a massive $6 trillion budget, the largest budget in U.S. history. And guess who pays the bill? That's right, you, the American taxpayer. American citizens and business owners will be paying more taxes. That's a fact. And if you owe back taxes, they will be coming after you to collect payments. In fact, President Biden also hired thousands more IRS agents to go after you. If you got a letter from the IRS and you know you owe back taxes or you haven't filed in years, don't put your head in the sand. Call us today. We've saved our customers millions of tax dollars. One quick, free phone call will show you how we can reduce your past tax bill and save you thousands. Guaranteed, or you pay nothing. Call now.
800-932-1431. 800-932-1431. That's 800-932-1431. Paid for by the Tax Helpline.
Now on this Friday Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, Edward Pawley does something that is not a lot of newsmen do. He goes to support another newspaper in Big Town. The Case of the Iron Fist is originally broadcast 75 years ago, April 14th, 1949.
Extra Big Town Extra! Editor beaten, foreign language paper wrecked! Extra Big Town Extra!
Get out! This paper speaks in our mother tongue, but it fights only for loyalty to America, our adopted land.
Listen, Anton Broder. You will do as you are told to do. You will take orders, or we come to see you.
All right. You've beaten my father almost to death, but his paper still goes to press tomorrow. Yes, listen to this timely story of the courage of a loyal editor of a small foreign language newspaper of Big Town, brought to you by Lever Brothers Company, makers of Life Boy Health Soap. Hear this exciting adventure of fighting editor Steve Wilson of the Press as he goes to the aid of a fellow editor in defense of his newspaper creed that stands for freedom and justice against the forces of intolerance, violence, and evil.
The power and the freedom of the press is a flaming sword. That it may be a faithful servant of all the people, use it justly, hold it high, guard it well.
Now to Big Town and tonight's headline story of the Iron Fist. Symbol of brute force and violence, the power of the Iron Fist is the issue behind Steve Wilson's story for tonight, which began not in the city room of the Illustrated Press, a great metropolitan daily paper, but in the tiny office of Anton Broder, editor, publisher, printer, and sometimes delivery boy of a small foreign language weekly. We should be proud of our European heritage, but our first loyalty should be to our adopted land, America. Never will I be able to think good editorials on the typewriter. An old dog, you cannot teach new tricks. Yeah, Anton Broder speaking.
Hello, Pop. Are you still up?
Yes, my son. Tomorrow the paper must go out as always, and my editorial is not finished.
You're killing yourself, Pop. You can't get the paper out alone. Listen, let me come downtown and help you.
No, Jefferson, my son. Your college education you must get. You must learn much, become a thinker like your great namesake, Thomas Jefferson.
I'm trying hard, Pop. But you sure gave me a tough name to live up to.
Yeah, but here in this free land, everything is possible, my son. Nothing impossible. You, because you are born in America, could even be president.
Yeah, but that's one tough job these days, Pop. Oh, say, did you hear President Truman speaking a few minutes ago?
Yeah, and his message I must also translate and put in the paper for tomorrow. It is true we must all buy bonds, keep America strong financially, strong in faith and hope for the future. All must share in our government, support it, and in buying bonds, save for the bright, happy future, which is the inalienable right of free people only.
Yeah, Pop, but that idea is going to burn a few of your readers. They don't want America to be strong enough to stand up for what we believe is right.
It does not matter, Jeff. They are only the very few, the misguided ones. We must show the truth.
Some of them don't want the truth, Pop. Have you had any more threats?
Yeah, but all my life I have had threats, blackhand letters from those who hate the truth.
Watch your step, Pop. These babies do more than write letters. Remember they killed the editor of another foreign language paper here in Big Town?
I know, but they could not kill his ideas, my son.
Yeah, but I've only got one, Pop, and I want you to live to see me graduate. Even if you don't want to stick around until I get to be president.
So go back to your studies, Jeff. Do not worry. I will be careful. I will live to see you graduate with honors and be proud I have given a good son to America.
You're quite a guy yourself. Good night, Pop.
Good night, my son. God bless you and keep you.
Good evening, Broder.
Good evening, madam. Come in. What can I do for you?
Plenty, as they say here in America. Come in, Hammer. We are invited. Close the door.
That's good. It's better to be invited in.
Lock the door. We do not want to be interrupted.
What is this? Who are you?
Do not get up from your desk, Editor Broder. You will want to write what we tell you to write.
Yes, and if you don't, you won't have so far to fall to the floor.
So they are tired of telephoning threats. They are tired of writing letters penned with poison.
Who are they?
Those few people blindly loyal to our enslaved homeland instead of to their adopted
Your
land.
lie. It is an imperialistic lie.
Save the dialectics, Hammer. It is plain the line would be wasted on him. He would never be a convert we could trust, because he would insist upon thinking.
Then why are we wasting time?
Because this time we are not going to make of him a martyr to his ideas.
There are enough already. Enough graves to hold your doctrines of violence, terror, and fear.
But enough here left to silence you, Mr. Broder. Please to begin, Hammer.
You are fools if you think a beating with that chain wrapped around your fist will silence me.
Ah, but such a beating you have never had before, Broder. I am expert. Are you ready?
I made the choice to be ready always, long ago.
Good. Let us begin.
Steve, has City Desk called you?
No, Lorelei, what's up?
Your old friend and fellow editor, Anton Broder, has been beaten up.
Good grief. I've been afraid it would happen.
He was given the iron fist treatment.
What are his chances, Lorelei?
Fair, but he'll be in the hospital a long time. According to the police report, he was given professional treatment. The slugger knew how to maim without killing.
Did the police get the slugger?
No, not even a lead. And his enemies have silenced Broder for quite a while, unless his son Jeff can get the paper out.
Young Jeff, good grief, that's right. He could do it with a little help.
I phoned Broder's office. Jeff's there. His father wouldn't let him go to the hospital with him. Wanted Jeff to get back to law school.
Yes, that's been Anton's great ambition for his boy.
Well, that's going to have to wait. Jeff says he's quitting school, going to keep the paper going and track down those who beat his father. Oh, isn't there something we can do, Steve?
Yes, Lorelei, two things. I want you to go down and help Jeff get that paper out while I track down the murderous swine who think they can silence the man who is fighting our fight.
Lifebuoy gets skin cleaner.
Lifebuoy gets skin cleaner.
And the cleaner you get your skin, the surer you are of being fresh and attractive. So remember, Lifebuoy, with its purifying ingredient, gets skin cleaner, stops BO as no other leading soap can. Here's what the doctors proved in 820 scientific tests.
People took daily baths with different soaps. Doctors found that Lifebuoy does more than just remove the grime and perspiration you can see. Lifebuoy's purifying ingredient makes it more effective than any other leading soap against the invisible dirt that brings on BO.
Lifebuoy's milder, too. Safe, even for baby's tender skin.
And you'll like the way Lifebuoy, made with costly coconut oil, bursts into quick white lather, even in hard water.
Lifebuoy gets skin cleaner.
Lifebuoy gets skin cleaner, keeps you fresh and attractive, protects you as no other leading soap can. Bathe with Lifebuoy Health Soap every day. Get the big new bath size. Buy Lifebuoy right away. Now back to Big Town and tonight's timely headline story of the Iron Fist. While Steve Wilson hunts the hoodlums who have beaten the editor of a small foreign language newspaper, Lorelei Kilburn has been assigned to help the editor's son get out the weekly paper.
Tonight, the cowards have beaten my father, your editor, almost to death. Oh, it's no use, Miss Kilburn. I'm studying to be a lawyer, not a writer like my father. The thoughts and anger are all in my mind, but I can't put them into words.
All right, Jeff. Dictate what you want to say. I'll take it down in shorthand, type it out, and then you can translate it.
Even that I can't do well anymore, Miss Kilburn. We of the second generation in America have almost lost the power to use our parents' mother tongue.
Oh, that's a shame, Jeff. You should be proud of your parents' language and heritage, which has contributed so much to the greatness of America. Not blindly and arrogantly proud any more than any of us, foreign or native-born, should be blindly and arrogantly proud of America.
I know. All his life, my father's preached that to the readers of this little paper.
And he's made a lot of good citizens.
But now, lately have come among my father's people here in Big Town a few fanatics and Hirelings preaching hatred and destruction of free people everywhere.
There are only a few, Jeff.
But what can we do against such methods, Miss Kilburn? How can we fight this thing without violence, without becoming as they? Savages, animals, beasts. They walked in here and silenced my father. Beat him almost to death.
Oh, now steady, Jeff. Your father's a tough old fighter.
Yeah, I guess you're right. What about Mr. Wilson? Do you think he can get a lead on those devils who put Pop in the hospital?
He's trying, Jeff. He's working with the police. Oh, that may be Steve now.
Will you take it? See if I can't write this editorial? We've got to hurry if the paper's going to be ready tomorrow.
We'll get it out. Hello, Office of Anton Broder, editor and publisher.
Shut up and listen, you stupid parrot.
Oh, hold everything, Jeff. There's a woman on the wire who hates parrots.
Listen carefully and tell Anton Broder's son to get out of that newspaper office of stupid lies or he will go to the hospital like his stupid father.
Sorry, I'm probably too stupid to be able to give him the message. Would you like to talk to him in person?
No, just tell him. And who are you?
Oh, just call me Stupid Kilbourne, a stupid crime reporter for the stupid Big Town Illustrated Press.
The Illustrated Press? What are you doing at Broder's newspaper?
Mr. Broder happens to be an old friend of my editor, Steve Wilson. Besides, in America, we downtrodden newspaper folk have a habit of sticking together. And if you care to give us your present address, we'll be right over, period.
Stupid swine.
You know, your command of the English language seems to be as limited as your understanding of the American people, even those of your own nationality.
I am of no nationality. I am a citizen of the world.
Whose world? We'd all like to be part of one world. We want it to be everybody's world, not one run with clubs and an iron fist.
You will know more than the iron fist if you are not out of that newspaper office in 10 minutes.
10 minutes? What's going to happen here in 10 minutes?
In 10 minutes, it will not matter to you.
You're talking as if you left something here.
Yes.
It wouldn't just happen to be a good old-fashioned time bomb, would it?
Yes. And it is hidden where you will not find it in time.
Aren't you getting soft-hearted by warning us and soft-headed risking our tracing this phone call?
No. I am telephoning from a public place. And the time is not yet when we are ready to kill off the stupid fools who oppose us.
Thanks. That's big of you. Jeff, start taking this place apart. There's a time bomb somewhere set to go off in about 10 minutes.
Now, look, and hang up on that woman and get out of here, Miss Kilburn.
Not on your life. Hello, are you still on the line waiting for the sound of the explosion, or have you run out of nickels?
You stupid little fool. Get out. Go back to your illustrated press.
No, thanks. But I hope you don't mind if I hang up now. I've got to help young Jeff Broder find your bomb before it goes boom.
Broder's place as ordered, boy.
Thanks, Harry. Wait here. I want to see how Lorelei and young Jeff Broder are making out with the paper.
Hey, boss. Look who's here. The blind gypsy.
Yes. I wonder what she's doing around here this late at night.
Not taking in any dough for her playing. That's a cinch. The block is deserted. But being blind, maybe she don't know that.
She knows, Harry. The gypsy may be blind, but there's very little goes on in this section of Big Town that she doesn't hear.
Maybe she's heard something about the knuckle goons what mussed up Broder.
I rather think that's exactly why she's here, Harry. Wait a minute. Gypsy. Gypsy.
Who calls me? The voice I seem to know. Who calls me?
Steve Wilson, Gypsy, a newspaper friend of Anton Broder.
Oh, yes. You helped the street players when the racketeers tried to shake us down for a share of what little we get for bringing music in these streets.
Well, I was able to help you, Gypsy, because you and your friends, the street singers, weren't afraid of our homegrown racket rats. Now I'm trying to help Anton Broder and his son fight some imported rats.
Oh, yes, I know, Mr. Wilson. Oh, you have been asking many questions in the streets tonight.
Do you know anything, Gypsy? Have you heard anything?
I know that a strange man and woman came here to Anton Broder's office tonight.
A man and a woman.
Yes, the man is but a dumb animal, but beware of the woman.
I'll be glad to be aware of her if I can find her, Gypsy.
Steve, Steve, come here, quick.
Oh, just a minute, Gypsy. Yes, what is it, Laura?
We just had a phone call. A warning about a time bomb planted in the office.
Oh, good grief, and get out of here. Where's Jeff Broder?
In the back room. He found it near the press.
Good heavens, he's liable to get himself blown up. Stay here.
Oh, no, wait, Steve. He's taken it out in the back alley. I phoned the bomb squad.
We're lucky. It won't do much damage if it explodes in the alley. Oh, hello, Mr. Wilson. You just missed some excitement.
Yeah, so I hear. And you just missed having your head blown off, Jeff.
Yeah, and how?
Steve, they're really beginning to play rough. Did you get a lead on them?
I think I have a lead, Lorelei. Gypsy.
Yes, Mr. Wilson. The name of the woman you would like to know.
I'd appreciate it very much, Gypsy.
The woman I could not see, but the voice I shall never forget. Take me to a place called the Blue Samovar. I think I shall be able to point her out.
Good, Gypsy. Now let me help you into Harry's hack. Stay here, Lorelei, Jeff. Tell the police what happened, then phone Callahan of homicide. Have him meet me at the Blue Samovar.
Lifebuoy gets skin cleaner.
Lifebuoy gets skin cleaner.
And the cleaner you get your skin, the surer you are of being fresh and attractive. So remember, Lifebuoy, with its purifying ingredient, gets skin cleaner. Stops BO as no other leading soap can. Here's what the doctors proved in 820 scientific tests.
People took daily baths with different soaps. Doctors found that Lifebuoy does more than just remove the grime and perspiration you can see. Lifebuoy's purifying ingredient makes it more effective than any other leading soap against the invisible dirt that brings on BO.
Lifebuoy's milder, too. Safe even for baby's tender skin.
And you'll like the way Lifebuoy, made with costly coconut oil, bursts into quick white lather, even in hard water.
Lifebuoy gets skin cleaner.
Lifebuoy gets skin cleaner, keeps you fresh and attractive, protects you as no other leading soap can. Bathe with Lifebuoy Health Soap every day. Get the big new bath size. Buy Lifebuoy right away. Now back to Big Town and to Steve Wilson as he watches the exit of a smoke-filled basement cabaret in the foreign section. Watches for a man and woman who have beaten Anton Broder, editor of a small foreign language newspaper.
Steve, what's happened? I phoned Inspector Callahan to come here and left Jeff Broder to report on that explosion to the bomb squad.
Good. I hope Callahan gets here before that woman and her imported bruiser come out.
How will you know them? And what's Gypsy doing standing there playing?
Gypsy went to the cabaret a few minutes ago, Laurel. I wandered around from table to table, playing her violin. She heard them talking, recognized their voices.
Oh?
Now, if they come out before Callahan gets here, Lorelei, I want you to keep out of whatever happens.
Well, I won't promise. What are you going to do?
And Gypsy's going to stop playing the moment she hears their voices.
Fine, but how are you going to keep them here until Callahan arrives? We have no proof they're responsible for the beating of Anton Broder and the planting of that time bomb.
No, but I think we'll have it before I get through with the little act Gypsy and I prepared for the occasion.
Come, Hammer. Enough of the laughter of these heedless donkeys who do not know their days are short.
There they are, Lorelei. Now, here's where Gypsy and I go into our act. Catch every word of it.
Oh, wait, friends. Cross my palm with silver, and I will give you music to gladden your heart.
Get away, you gypsy beggar. We've no time for music.
Then give me but a stone, and I will tell thy foul future.
Get out of our way, you stupid gypsy fool.
Wait. To stop that.
Who are you?
It does not matter. You are stupid fools. You have been sent here to Big Town on important business. You have made mistake after mistake. Now you make a stupid scene in the streets. Do you not know we have local stooges for that?
Who are you to talk to us like that?
You will find out soon enough. Anton Broder's newspaper, you have not silenced even for a day. You have failed in your mission. And as you well know, failure is the unforgivable sin.
We have not failed. We will silence Broder and his son if the young fool is still alive.
Why should he not be alive?
Because we have left a time bomb in his press room.
That by now has blown up his newspaper.
You're boasting, telling lies. So many lies you have been trained to tell you can no longer speak the truth.
It is the truth. The truth, you hear? The truth.
Good, I believe you. And the gentleman getting out of that car will be glad to hear you admitted it in front of witnesses. Hello, Callahan.
Hello, Steve.
Are these two our out-of-town visitors?
Yes. Did you bring the keys to the city?
The keys to a couple of pair of handcuffs. And I'll throw them away if you have enough to hold them for that beating and bombing.
Well, Gypsy, Lorelei, and myself as witnesses to their free confession, Inspector.
Inspector? The police?
Yes, and don't turn around and run. Our police officers don't enjoy having to shoot escaping prisoners in the back. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a tendency to say it can't happen here, but watch your daily newspapers. Listen to your radio news broadcasts. Ask some of the thousands of loyal, foreign-born American citizens if they do not know of such cases where cruel and terrible pressure has been applied to force them into a divided loyalty. Help them all you can. They need our support, sympathy, understanding, our strength, for it is the hope of a free world. Thank you.
We all echo that, Steve. And I, for one, am going to buy all the bonds I can. How about you, Dwight?
And I'll echo those sentiments, Lorelei. Government bonds are the best possible way of saving for future security. Not only our country's security, but also the personal security and happiness that comes from having a safe nest egg ready for that vacation or the many, many things that we want to buy. Say, Steve, there's Joe, your copy boy, with something on his mind.
Yes? What is on your mind, Joe?
Say, Mr. Wilson.
Yes, Joe?
I've been practicing writing a news story, Mr. Wilson. Will you look at this?
Doctors prove amazing results. Lifebuoy Health Soap gets skin cleaner. Found a true fact. Don't say true fact, Joe. Say true or a fact. Not both. If it's true, it's a fact. And it is, Joe. A daily Lifebuoy bath does get skin cleaner. Keeps you fresh and attractive. Protects you when other soaps fail. And here's another fact, Joe. Lifebuoy today is used in the homes of 40 million Americans.
That's right, folks. Get Lifebuoy Health Soap right away and ask for the big new bath size cake at your store. Next Tuesday, another newspaper story of a killer stalked by a tiger in the heart of Big Town and headlined The Hunter. In tonight's dramatization, all names, times, and places are fictional. Big Town features Edward Pawley as Steve Wilson, Fran Carlin as Lorelei Kilburn. The special music of The Gypsy was played by Miss Edith Laurand, world-famous conductor and concert violinist who has just returned from a European tour. And tonight's story of the Iron Fist was written and produced by Jerry McGill.
Lever Brothers Company has amazing news. New 1950 Rinso with Solium. It's here a year ahead of time. New 1950 Rinso has 3 times the whiter washing action of any other soap. The sensational new washing action of 1950 Rinso gets white clothes whiter than new, washable colors brighter than new, and keeps them whiter, brighter than any other soap. Rinso is so safe for clothes, so kind to hands. Get new 1950 Rinso at your dealers now.
Be sure and be with us again next Tuesday at the same time when Lever Brothers Company will again present Big Town. This is your narrator, Dwight Weiss, bidding you good night.
"75 years ago, April 14th, 1949, Big Town, here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Up next, Jack Webb and Dragnet.
In times of economic uncertainty and chaos, your money means nothing. You may not even be able to get it from your bank or ATM. And the money you do have in the stock market will go down and down. What you can bank on is gold and silver. Gold and silver have been a reliable and trusted form of currency for thousands of years. Gold and silver have never been worth zero, and typically gold holds its value during economic turmoil. Call the Gold Hotline now and learn how to protect your money and your assets with gold and silver. And learn how to set up a new IRA or roll over your current one into a gold-backed IRA. Protect your money from the next market crash with gold and silver. Call now for your free gold guide.
800-515-6302. 800-515-6302. 800-515-6302. That's 800-515-6302.
Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox continues with an episode of Dragnet starring Jack Webb, The Big Speech, as it was broadcast 73 years ago, April 19th, 1951.
The story you are about to hear is true. Only the names have been changed to protect the innocent.
Fatima Cigarettes, best of all long cigarettes, brings you Dragnet.
You're a detective sergeant. You're assigned to robbery detail. A doctor is severely beaten, robbed, and left in critical condition. Suspicion points to a narcotics addict. Your job? Get him. You'll be amazed when you compare Fatima with other long cigarettes.
You'll find they now cost the same. But in Fatima, the difference is quality.
You see, Fatima is the quality king-size cigarette because it contains the finest domestic and Turkish tobaccos superbly blended. And Fatima is extra mild, with a much different, much better flavor and aroma than any other long cigarette.
So compare Fatima yourself. Fatimas now cost the same as other long cigarettes, but your first puff will tell you...
Ah, that's different.
Yes, in Fatima, the difference is quality. Ask your dealer for Fatima, the quality king-size cigarette. Best of all long cigarettes. Start enjoying Fatima tomorrow.
Dragnet, the documented drama of an actual crime. For the next 30 minutes, in cooperation with the Los Angeles Police Department, you will travel step by step on the side of the law through an actual case transcribed from official police files. From beginning to end, from crime to punishment, Dragnet is the story of your police force in action.
It was Monday, August 7th. It was warm in Los Angeles. We were working the day watch out of robbery detail. My partner's Ben Romero. The boss is Thad Brown, chief of detectives. My name's Friday. It was 1:15 p.m. when I got to 4656 Collis Avenue. The front door.
Is that you, Joseph?
Yeah, Ma, it's me.
I didn't expect you so soon.
Well, I'm off for lunch, and Ben and I were in the neighborhood, so...
Oh, well, I'll get the telegram.
Thank you.
I must say, I'm glad you could get home. Telegrams always make me nervous. Nobody ever sends a telegram unless it's important here, so...
Thank you. Yes, they do, Ma. Some people send wires to invite you to lunch or to a reception or something like that.
Is that so?
Sure, you just forgotten, haven't you? I've gotten them before like that.
Oh, it's no way to do, anyhow.
Why not?
People always associate frightening things with telegrams. Well, aren't you going to open it?
Oh, yeah, sure. You know, if you were worried you could open it, Ma, it'd been all right.
Well, you know I never open anything addressed to you, Joseph. Anything important?
It's from Belmont, my old high school.
Oh, yeah.
They want me to come up next week. They're having some sort of assembly up there. Want me to talk to the student body.
Well, that's nice. You going to go?
Yeah, I think I better, don't you? I'll have to clear it through Captain Sheldon, though.
No, I think it's awfully nice for them to remember you. What are you going to talk on, to say?
Yeah, police work, it says here. I'll have to think of something to base it on, though, won't I?
Well, you'll have to memorize it, Joseph. Doesn't look well for a man to stand up on a platform and read a prepared talk.
Yeah, I know. Oh, that's Ben. I gotta go, Ma.
Would you and Ben like some lunch? I can fix you something in about a minute.
No, we haven't got time, dear. I'll see you later.
I don't know why they couldn't have written a letter instead.
What's that, Ma?
I said they could have written you a letter. Besides, it's much cheaper than a telegram.
Yeah, Ma. I'll see you later.
Bye, Joseph.
Bye. Just got a call, Joe. They want us to call the office. Oh, well, I might as well do it from the house, huh? Yeah. All right, I'll be right back. Right. It's just me again, Ma. Came back to use the phone.
All right, Joseph.
Hello? 2511, please.
2511? Robbery, Chandler.
This is Friday, Glenn.
Got one for you, Joe.
What? I can't hear you, Glenn.
Got one for you.
Wait a minute, I can't hear you. Hey, Ma, would you hold that vacuum for a minute, please? I can't hear.
Oh, all right, Joseph.
Thank you. I'm sorry, Glenn. What'd you say again?
That's right. That young kid hit again, doctor's office.
Yeah?
It's that same kid, only this time he got a little rough. Victim's at Georgia Street. He's still carrying that gun.
Did he use the gun?
To beat the man with. Victim's a 55-year-old doctor. No reason for it, Joe.
All right, we'll get right on it.
Right, bye.
Yeah, bye. Okay, Ma, I'm all through.
All right, son.
Anything? Yeah. That young hype hit again. Doctor's office. Beat him up pretty bad. He's down at Georgia.
Great combination, isn't it, Joe?
What's that?
Arm full of narcotics and a loaded gun.
Monday, August 7th. Since June 27th, Ben and I had been assigned to a case involving a young narcotics thief. For 7 weeks now, he'd been robbing every possible source available to him of narcotics. Since the inception of the investigation, we'd seen this young criminal develop from a small-time sneak thief to a full-fledged armed and vicious thug. The descriptions of the young thief, taken from his various victims, tallied almost to the letter. Blonde, light complexion, small stature, 5'7" to 5'10", nervous and unusually juvenile in appearance. Everything possible was being done for his quick apprehension. Hundreds of mugshots were screened and shown to victims. No identification. 3:30 p.m. We checked back in at the office. Went to see Sergeant Ed Hall, Narcotics Division.
Chandler said you went over to Georgia Street to see that doctor.
Yeah, that's right, Ed. Short visit. Poor guy.
Pretty bad, huh?
Well, the guy's really a mess. Kid must have worked overtime on him.
And what's his condition?
Still critical when we left. They wouldn't let us stay long. We got a description. It's the same kid.
Doctor's name was Gannon, huh? 55 years old.
Yeah, pistol whipped him. Knocked out 7 of his teeth, fractured his jaw. Doctor was wearing glasses. They don't know if he'll see out of his right eye anymore.
Well, this puts Junior in the big leagues now.
Yeah, it sure does. We got out a supplementary all points on him. Here's a list of the junk that he got. It's quite a haul here.
Yeah. Morphine, quarter grain, 30 vials. 5 vials, half grain codeine. Dolphine, quarter grain, 6 vials. Yeah, you did all right. Long list here.
We got that from the nurse. She was out to lunch when it happened. It's a small office out there, and the doctor closes up at noon. Nurse goes out to lunch, and he eats in the office. That's when the kid got to him.
He knew when to hit, didn't he?
Yeah.
Our boys haven't been able to turn up a thing for you. Nobody seems to know the kid.
Well, the amount of stuff he hauled out of that doctor's office, something ought to show, shouldn't it?
Should, yeah, with a haul like that. You got anything at all to work on?
Yeah, that car that was used on the job. Still got it staked out.
We just picked this up from the report counter.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Car was reported stolen 2 hours after the robbery. It's a little bit of a break, huh?
The report was taken out at the Wilshire station. Mrs. Irving Adams states that her husband had notified her that the car was stolen from him while he was at work today. Said he always parks it out in front on the street.
We haven't checked it out yet, but we figured it was a good place to start, maybe.
Wait a minute. What'd you say that name was?
Irving Adams.
No, let me see that report. Well, this Adams is a user. He's up in county now, waiting trial.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, Walker and I picked him up. I just talked to Adams up in the county jail this morning.
How long's he been in?
Let's see. It was last Tuesday, July 30th.
The car couldn't have been stolen from Adams today if he's been in jail for a week.
Well, there's one guy can figure it out for you. Adams.
4:05 p.m. We went up to the 10th floor of the county jail, the interview room. We talked to Irving Adams for an hour. He said he wanted to cooperate, but he couldn't explain his wife's action in reporting the car stolen from him. He kept repeating that he knew his wife was not involved in anything, that she was innocent of any complicity in the case of the youthful gunman. He could give us no information on anyone fitting the gunman's description. He insisted that the entire matter was a mistake and that his wife could clear everything up if we just talked to her. 5:20 p.m. Ben and I drove out to 239 West 92nd Street, the Adams residence. It was a small white bungalow trimmed in red. The front lawn needed cutting and care. There were 4 bottles of soured milk on the front porch, along with several old newspapers. The front blinds were down, and although it was still early, the front porch light was burning. The other homes in the neighborhood appeared to be neat and well kept. The screen door was ajar and supported by one rusty hinge. 5:21 p.m.
Looks like nobody's home.
Well, let's give it a try, huh?
Give me a minute, I'll cover the back.
Right.
Yes?
Police officer, my name's Friday. You're Mrs. Irving Adams?
Yes, that's right.
Well, I'd like to talk to you about your stolen car.
Have we found it?
Yes, we have. Can I come in?
The place is in such a mess. Can't we talk here?
Well, if you don't mind, I'd rather come inside.
All right. Don't look at the house. I've been kind of sick. Haven't felt much like cleaning up.
All right. You alone here, are you?
Right now, my husband's at work.
Mm-hmm. Mind if I go through the house?
You mean search it? You got a warrant?
No, I just want to go to the back door.
What for?
Well, my partner's around back there. This the way to the back door here?
That's right.
This it?
It's locked. Keys in the door.
All right. Hey, Ben?
Yeah, everything all right?
Yeah, fine.
Is he a police officer, too?
Yeah, that's right. This all there is to the house here?
What do you mean?
Well, just these 3 rooms here.
Yes, that's all.
I thought you said you were alone here.
I am.
Now, who's that woman lying down in the other room?
That's Catherine. I didn't want you bothering her. She's been sick, too. She sleeps most of the time. I just forgot about her.
Anybody else around?
No, nobody.
No, I mean anybody sick or otherwise. Anyone besides you and this girl in there?
Well, you've been in every room in the house except the bathroom.
This it here?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't understand all this. I reported my car stolen, and you come out here and search my house. If I did steal my car, I wouldn't hide it in here.
Yeah. Ben, want to come in?
Yeah.
Could you tell me something?
Yeah.
Why are you here?
Well, I told you we found your car. This is Sergeant Romero.
How do you do?
What's the trouble? Anything wrong?
Who'd you say your car was stolen from?
From me. It was my car.
Is that the way you made the report, Mrs. Adams? It was stolen from you?
I think so, yes.
Ms. Adams, according to the report that you made out this morning, you stated that the car was stolen from your husband. Isn't that right?
Is that what I said?
Yes, ma'am, that's right.
I don't remember. We both used the car so much. I forgot.
Well, now, which is it, you or your husband?
I'm not sure.
You been drinking, have you?
A little bit, just to ease my nerves. I haven't been feeling well.
Well, it's obvious you're not drunk, Mrs. Adams. Why don't you keep your story straight?
Well, officers, I am telling the truth.
Well, your husband's in the county jail. He's been there for a week. The car couldn't have been stolen from him. Now, could it?
I didn't say it was stolen from him.
Is this your signature, Mrs. Adams?
Yes, sir.
This is a copy of the auto theft report that you made at the Wilshire Division.
Yes.
Well, now, is this report a true one or a false one? There's a penalty for making a false report, Ms. Adams. I'm sure you're aware of that.
I only want my car back.
Who was it stolen from?
Whatever it says there, my husband.
Now, we just told you that he's in jail. He's still in there. We just talked to him. The car couldn't have been stolen from him. Have you got anything to say to that?
No.
Well, I think we better go downtown where you can sit and straighten yourself out and give us some right answers.
I don't want to go to jail.
That's just where you're going if you don't snap out of it and come up with the truth.
I know who you want. It's Rex Burley, isn't it?
Who's Rex Burley?
Young kid, blonde, small. He told me he was in some kind of trouble with the car. Said if I'd tell the police it was stolen, it'd be all right that way.
Mm-hmm. Do you know where he is now?
No, I don't.
You sure about that?
That's the truth.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
Catherine's awful sick.
Mm-hmm.
She always sleep this heavy?
Only when she's sick.
She's really out, isn't she?
Yeah.
Look at her leg.
Yeah. She's a user.
Say, this girl's on narcotics, Miss Adams. Are you a user?
No, I'm not. I don't know where Catherine gets it.
How about Rex Burley?
He's on it, too. Maybe she gets it from him.
Is there any stuff in the house now?
Not that I know of.
You want to tell us where Rex Burley is?
I don't know. He called here about an hour ago. Catherine talked to him.
Mm-hmm.
Did he tell her where he was?
Yes, he did. She wrote it down on a piece of paper.
Where's that paper?
Under her pillow.
You are listening to Dragnet. From beginning to end, Dragnet is the authentic story of your police force in action.
Now, from beginning to end, the Fatima story. Actual convincing proof that in Fatima, the difference is quality.
Quality of tobaccos. The finest domestic and Turkish varieties, extra mild and superbly blended to give you a much different, much better flavor and aroma.
Quality of manufacture. Smooth, round, perfect cigarettes. Rolled in the finest paper money can buy. Manufactured in the newest and most modern of all cigarette factories.
Quality, even to the appearance of the bright, clean, golden yellow package. Carefully wrapped and sealed to bring you Fatima's rich, fresh, extra mild flavor.
Because of its quality, its extra mildness, its better flavor and aroma, more long cigarette smokers are now insisting on Fatima than ever before.
So if you smoke a long cigarette, compare Fatima. You'll find they now cost the same. But your first puff will tell you,
Ah, that's different.
Yes, in Fatima, the difference is quality. Insist on Fatima. Start enjoying the quality king-size cigarette. Fatima. Best of all long cigarettes.
Monday, August 7th, 6:30 p.m. The young girl who was identified as Catherine Dorrance was awakened, and she produced Rex Burley's address. She stated that she'd known him for the past year. She had just graduated from high school and gave her age as 18. In talking further with both Iris Adams and Catherine Dorrance, we found that the description of Rex Burley checked out with that given us from the suspect's victims. They both stated that, as far as they knew, it was his true name, that he had no friends or associates known to them. A check with R&I showed no record on the name Rex Burley. At 6:37 p.m., Sergeants Hall and Walker from Narcotics Division arrived and continued the investigation of the two female suspects. A stakeout was placed on the house at 239 West 92nd Street. The address we got from Catherine Dorrance was a hotel on Washington Boulevard. We drove out and checked with the clerk. We asked if he had anyone registered under the name of Rex Burley, and he told us no. We gave him Burley's description. He said that a young man similar to that had registered and was in room 210. We got a pass key from the clerk. We walked up to the second floor.
This is it.
Lights on under the door.
Yeah. Careful, huh?
Yeah.
Who is it?
Open up. We want to talk to you.
What about?
Is the key in the door?
Yeah, fast key's no good.
All right, come on. Open up. Police officers.
Isn't gonna open.
All right. Let's hit it. All right, again. Once more.
Yep. Windows open. Up the fire escape, Joe. Police officers, hold it up.
Watch it. You all right?
Yeah.
All right, come on. Let's go. All right, hold it up there. He doesn't want to stop.
He's over the side, under the roof.
All right, come on. All right, easy.
See him?
No, it's pretty dark. All right, come on. Easy now. All right, easy.
Over there on that side. Can you see him?
No, it's too dark.
Watch that skyline. He's over there in that corner. See him?
Yeah, now he's gone.
Must have ducked back down. Well, he's in that corner.
All right, let's take him. Now keep down. You circle around from that side. I'll go around this way.
Right.
Be careful. Keep down. All right, throw that gun out. Get your hands in the air. Walk toward the middle of the roof.
All right, here's the gun. I see him, Joe. I got him covered. You all right?
Yeah.
All right, keep those hands up.
All right, stand still.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
All right, get your hands behind you. Ben?
Let's go, Burley.
I didn't mean to do it. I was wrong. I know I was wrong.
Should have thought about that a long time ago.
How old are you, Burley?
20.
You're living pretty high, aren't you?
I had to have this stuff. I needed it. How else could I get it? I didn't have the money to buy it.
You didn't have to get started on it. Come on, let's go.
I didn't want to get started. All of a sudden, I was just on it. I couldn't do anything about it. You don't understand. There was just somebody else to explain it to.
There is, but they won't understand it either. Monday, August 7th, 8:40 p.m. Rex Burley was taken downtown to the robbery division for further interrogation. He told us that he was in his senior year in high school when he got started on narcotics. He kept repeating that he didn't mean to get started. He readily admitted his participation in 6 narcotics robberies. He told us that he got Catherine Dorrance, his 18-year-old girlfriend, started on dope. Gene Bechtel took his statement and a complete report was made. A partial recovery of the stolen narcotics was made from his hotel room. The remainder had been found at Irving Adams' residence on 92nd Street. Both female suspects, Iris Adams and Catherine Dorrance, were filed on for violation of the State Narcotics Act. A show-up was scheduled for August 8th to allow a positive identification from Rex Burley's victims. We received word from Georgia Street that Dr. Gannon's condition was improved. The suspect was transported to the main jail where he was booked. It was 10:38 p.m. when I got to 1456 Collis Avenue, the front door.
Joseph, is that you?
Yeah, Ma.
Oh, have you had your dinner?
No, I'm not hungry.
We'll have to eat. I'll fix you something.
Oh, I'm kind of tired. I just like to sit down for a minute.
All right. Well, there's the evening paper.
Oh, thank you.
Well, what'd you do to the sleeve of your coat?
Oh, where? Oh, guess I must have ripped it, huh?
You slip it off, I'll mend it after I fix you some dinner.
Well, why don't you sit down and work on it now if you want to? I've got something I'd kind of like to go over with you.
All right.
You remember that telegram from Belmont this morning?
Oh, yeah, your old high school.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think I got an idea for a speech, maybe. Just made a few notes here.
Mm-hmm.
Wrote down some of it. You think you feel like listening to it? See if it's okay?
All right. Did you write the speech today?
Well, just parts of it. I hadn't written it clear out yet. I just got a few notes. I want to see what you thought of it.
All right. Well, let me have your coat, son.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Now, let's hear you talk.
Well, remember, it's not written down yet. It's just kind of hit and miss as I go along. But I think I can get the thought across, and then I'll put it all down on paper.
All right.
Mr. Fisher, that's the principal up there. You know.
Yes.
Mr. Fisher, members of the faculty and students. I'd like to tell you about a young boy who started out in high school and ended up on the roof of a downtown hotel dodging police bullets. I'd like to tell you about his girlfriend, 18 years old and a dope addict. This young fella started out on narcotics in search of a new thrill, something new that he hadn't experienced in his young life. He was still in high school when a group of the more high-living youngsters used to congregate at the local malt shop Well, that's not so good, is it?
No.
Well, maybe it sounds better this way. There was a malt shop on the corner where some of the youngsters used to get together after school. Kind of a place where, if you had the right connections, and our young boy and girl did, you could get a drink of liquor in the back room. Well, the high school faculty knows all about this local malt shop, and they inform the authorities, and pressure is brought to bear. But the man who operates the place is clever, if you can call the operations of a man like this clever. He knows how to cover up, how to keep the front room legitimate and the back room a spawning place for juvenile delinquency. And the students don't help much. There seems to be something during the formation of a juvenile mind that when his teachers or his parents catch him doing wrong or they try to tell him it's bad, he prides himself in seeing how long he can get away with it undercover. Seems to be the stylish thing to do to outwit your parents and teachers. As the youngsters grow older, they invariably find out how infantile and stupid this is, but sometimes it's too late. Does that sound kind of stuffy, Ma? What do you think?
Sounds like the truth. Let me hear the rest of it.
Well, you know how kids are. Sometimes they resent it if they think you're lecturing them. Maybe if they could have been with Ben and I tonight, it might make a difference. Well, I don't want to make this too long, Ma. I think maybe I ought to finish up something like this. From this malt shop on the corner and that back room, our young boy gets a good shove down the road of self-degradation. He has the right connections, and it isn't too long before he graduates the liquor in the back room for something he thinks it's far better, narcotics. He's heard that, unlike liquor, you can't smell it on his breath, and he's a real veteran now. He has hangovers. He's heard that narcotics doesn't leave you with a hangover. So it doesn't take too long before, in police parlance, he's hooked. Living in this day and age, he thought that they taught him well in his economics and civics classes. He thought he knew what post-war inflation was all about. He didn't have the vaguest notion of the cost of his daily supply of narcotics once he was hooked on it. He found that before long he had to have his daily dosage. In no time at all, he found that it was all he could do to get by on $30 a day. That's what it cost, Ma. $30 each and every day, or he became violently ill, so sick that he couldn't seem to function properly. Well, in order to maintain his daily needs, he got a gun, and he robbed, and he beat people, and he stole. He shared with his girlfriend, and he dragged her down with him. He ended up on the roof of a hotel trying to shoot his way out. Well, the boy was 20 years old. His girlfriend was 18. 2 years ago, they both sat out there in a high school auditorium during an assembly. He went a long way, didn't he, in his 2 years out of high school? He was taken into custody on the night of August 7th. He was crying when we put the handcuffs on him. He was crying when we left him in his cell at the county jail. I guess he's still crying. Oh, what do you think, Ma? That's just rough. I haven't...
Mm-hmm. Will they believe it? You think it'll do any good?
Well, I don't know, Ma. It's up to them.
The story you have just heard was true. Only the names were changed to protect the innocent.
On November 9th, trial was held in Superior Court, Department 83, City and County of Los Angeles, State of California. In a moment, the results of that trial.
And now, here is our star, Jack Webb.
Thank you. Friends, there are many cases on record of two people, not related, looking so much alike it's hard to tell them apart. A quick check of fingerprints, however, easily proves who's who. Now, at first sight, you could just as easily be fooled by king-size cigarettes. If you were to place a Fatima and any other king-size cigarette side by side, you'd find they look identical. But believe me, there's a real difference. In Fatima, that difference is quality. Quality that gives you extra mildness, a much better flavor and aroma. Compare Fatima with any king-size cigarette. The size is the same, now the price is the same. But in Fatima, the difference is quality. Buy a pack tomorrow.
Rex Martin Burley was found guilty of 3 counts of robbery in the first degree and was sentenced to the state penitentiary where he is now serving his term. First-degree robbery is punishable by imprisonment from 5 years to life.
The Federal Civil Defense Administration will send you an air raid instruction sheet if you will write the Superintendent of Documents, Washington, D.C., enclosing 5 cents in coin or stamps.
You have just heard Dragnet, a series of authentic cases from official files. Technical advice comes from the Office of Chief of Police W.H. Parker, Los Angeles Police Department.
Fatima Cigarettes, best of all long cigarettes, has brought you Dragnet, portions transcribed from Los Angeles.
Stay tuned for Counter Spy, next over many NBC stations.
73 years ago, April 19th, 1951, Dragnet on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Our webpage, classicradio.stream. Stream our shows, learn about building a classic radio collection of your own. You can contact me there. Our social media links are there, and you can buy me a copy like Richard and Robert did to help support our show. Now, coming up next, tomorrow, we will have Frontier Gentleman, Luke Slaughter of Tombstone, Gunsmoke, and Suspense, all from Sunday, April 20th, 1958, and an episode of Claudia from 10 years earlier, April 20th, 1948. Coming up next, though, Bob Bailey as Johnny Dollar.
Should the United States ever be attacked, here's how it might happen.
The place? A radar post on our distant early warning line.
Frank, come here quick. I got some bogies.
You said it, a whole flock of them, and all headed south. Alert NORAD.
At North American Air Defense Headquarters, the alert is received and jet interceptors rise to defend us.
Meanwhile, civil defense attack warning officers stationed there warn the nation.
A simultaneous alert goes to almost 300 warning points across the country.
It's then passed to state and local governments,
who sound public warning devices to alert the people.
The attack alert sounds like this. A steady blast of 3 to 5 minutes. It means take action as directed by your local authorities.
The take cover signal sounds like this. A wavering tone for 3 minutes. It means take cover.
Be prepared. Remember your public warning signals and know what they mean.
Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox continues now with Bob Bailey as yours truly, Johnny Dollar, from 66 years ago, April 19th, 1958. And one of Johnny Dollar's favorite things, trout, the wayward trout matter.
From Hollywood, it's time now for Johnny Dollar.
Pat McCracken, Johnny, Universal Adjustment Bureau.
Oh, hi, Pat.
Johnny, you've handled a lot of difficult cases for the companies we represent. You've done a magnificent job. Saved some of them a lot of money. Sometimes nipped things in the bud even before they've happened.
Pat.
And there have been times when you've given up personal plans to take them on at a moment's notice and without question.
Listen, that bush you're beating around is getting pretty big.
All right, then I'll get to the point. Johnny, why don't you take yourself a holiday at company expense?
What?
Like Mojave Resort, maybe, where I understand you love to fish.
At company expense, huh?
That's right.
Okay, Pat, I'll grab the first plane.
Good boy.
But, brother, just wait till you see the expense account I pile up for you.
Why, Johnny?
Because if I ever smelled a rat, believe me, it's now. Bob Bailey, in the exciting adventures of the man with the action-packed expense account. America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to the Universal Adjustment Bureau, Home Office, Hartford, Connecticut. Following is an account of expenses incurred during my investigation of the wayward trout matter. Expense account item 1, $174.50 plane fare, Hartford to Los Angeles and Los Angeles to Las Vegas. Item 2, $50 deposit on a rental car. I headed south on Route 95. The Mojave Desert. Thousands of square miles of sand, sun-bleached gravel and rock, of cactus, sage, and Joshua trees. High flat mesas, towering crags. Countless trails leading off from the highway. Long abandoned roads leading up into the harsh, bleak mountains, with their promise of infinite wealth to the prospectors who scratched away in their hungry search for silver and gold. And who knows, perhaps some of these were trails of the pioneers who beat a tortuous path westward to the great Pacific. Who, with their oxen and heavy wagons, were lucky if they made 6 miles a day. Yet here I was, cruising along at an easy 60 miles an hour. And above me, a jet plane, lazily tearing off 600 miles an hour. Yeah, it made me think about the men who lived and struggled here, the men who died of hunger and thirst following the same path I was taking, never knowing that only a few miles away beyond the mountains was the mighty Colorado. Water, food, and life for those lucky enough to find it. But let's get to more practical things, like Davis Dam and huge Lake Mojave. On the east bank at the lower end, Lake Mojave Resort, with its clean, modern cabins, boathouse, dock, and harbor. Everything for a fisherman. It was after 9 p.m. when I pulled in. My old friend Buster Faber was waiting for me.
By golly, Johnny, I'm glad to see you.
Yeah, same here, Buster. How are you? Before you start on why I'm here, how's the fishing?
You remember Ham Pratt, the general manager?
Sure do. How is he?
Went out 3 days in a row, got 3 limits, 5, 6, 7 pounders.
Oh, and I have to come here on business.
Yeah, but as soon as you clear it up, you and I are going to do some fishing.
Believe me, we'd better. But now, what's the problem?
Oh, well, here, let me take your bags. You're in number 8.
Okay.
I've put you right next to Mr. Hatch.
Hatch?
Old-time confidence man, Johnny, and just plain big-time thief.
Oh, Gordon Hatch?
That's the one.
Used to operate up in San Francisco, over in Reno?
Tried Las Vegas, too, but they ran him out.
Sure. He served things like that. But they can never nail him for anything big.
That's right. Sit down.
Yeah. Well, what's he doing here?
Oh, ordinarily, we'd give a man like that some excuse about being full up, something like that.
I should think so.
But Ham and I decided if we let him stay, and with somebody like you here, well, maybe we could do a kind of public service.
Keep talking, Buster.
Well, Tuesday morning, I got a call from some wealthy folks in Los Angeles. They wanted accommodations for themselves and their wives beginning tonight. They're doing now.
So?
Well, Tuesday afternoon, this Gordon Hatch came barreling in. My wife, Marilyn, not knowing who he was, put him in number 7.
What are you getting at, Buster?
Well, those folks from L.A. have been here before, Johnny, and the women always come with enough furs and jewelry.
To a fishing resort?
Well, you see, every night they drive up to Vegas to gamble and take in the fancy night spot.
Ah, but what makes you think Hatch would come here just because of them?
One of them's a lawyer that got him sent up for embezzlement once, and Hatch always swore that someday he'd get even.
Oh, well, now, Buster...
I don't think he'd try any rough stuff, anything like that. He isn't the type, but... Well, that's why I called Hartford.
Well, what's the insurance angle?
There isn't any. Unless a lot of heavily insured jewelry suddenly disappears from around here. And your man in Hartford was willing to play along with that.
Yeah, I see.
Well, so do I. I see we have another guest, Buster. How do you do? My name is Gordon Hatch.
Mr. Hatch, this is Johnny Dollar. He's come for a few days fishing, same as you.
Excellent. We must go out together, Mr. Dollar. I found a couple of wonderful spots.
Yeah, I understand you had pretty good luck, sir.
Oh, didn't Ham Pratt tell you about the big one I got over near Sculpture Rock? Nearly 10 pounds. I'm keeping him in a live box so I can take him back to Los Angeles and have him stuffed.
Live box?
Yes.
It's a big sort of box made of heavy screen, Johnny. You leave it in the water, it'll keep the fish alive for days.
That's right.
Well, aren't you afraid somebody will walk off with them?
Oh, the nice people who come to this nice place? Of course not. And as a fisherman, I'm sure you know that even the worst crook in the world wouldn't touch another man's catch.
Yeah.
Look, will you excuse me? I hear some cars coming down the road. Must be the folks I'm expecting.
Why, of course, Buster.
I'll see you later.
Right.
Any plans for the evening, Mr. Dollar?
Oh, not particularly. I'm a little tired.
Well, then come along into my cabin next door. I've some excellent scotch and plenty of soda.
Oh, well, I've had a pretty long day.
Now, look, we can relax and regale each other with tall tales about the big fish we've caught here and there. After all, there isn't anything else to do out here of an evening.
Oh, I kind of thought I'd wander down to the dock and see if Ham Pratt is about.
Oh, save that for tomorrow. Now, come along, Mr. Dollar. I won't take no for an answer.
Actually, I was glad for the invitation. I wanted to know more about this man, sound him out if possible, about his real reason for being here. As it turned out, we spent a very pleasant evening talking entirely about fishing. Only once, in answer to a pretty direct question, did he speak about what I wanted him to.
That is all water over the dam, Mr. Dollar. If it's possible to make amends for some of the, shall we say, questionable things I may have done in the past, well, I can only assure you that I'm sincerely trying to make such amends. Now, please don't embarrass me this way again.
Yeah, sorry.
Now, tomorrow we'll go fishing.
Well,
I'll not only take you to one of the hottest spots on the lake, but I'll show you the beauties I have in the live box. You'll turn green with envy. Nightcap?
Well, it's been a pretty long day, and I really should hit the sack.
So should I. So, here we go. Bottoms up, and may tomorrow bring us each a limit.
That I will drink to.
Now, there we are. And I'll see you at the crack of dawn. Sleep well.
Right. Right? Wrong. Sure, I was tired. It had been a long day. But not long enough to make me drop off to sleep almost before I could get out of my clothes. That nightcap had had a lot more than scotch in it. Yeah, I'd fallen for one of the oldest tricks in the world. And until I woke up, anything could happen.
Act two of yours truly, Johnny Dollar, in a moment.
In the democracy in which we live, the concept of the Medal of Honor is something which goes beyond the medal itself, something which goes beyond the deeds of valor. The concept is not a material thing. It is an idea, an ideal, which springs from the deepest roots of all that is best in humanity. It stands for the democratic tradition of freedom, of liberty, of the code of conduct in which the citizens of the United States of America believe. These ideals do not belong to any one race, creed, or religion of Americans, but to all. Private First Class Sadao S. Munimori of the 100th Infantry Battalion of the United States Army proved the validity of these ideals on April 5th, 1945. Pinned down by enemy fire from artillery and machine guns in the hilly Cerveza section of the Apennine Mountains, PFC Munimori found himself in charge of his squad after the corporal had been killed. During a lull in the shelling, the men advanced, but were forced to take cover from machine gun fire. Grabbing some hand grenades, PFC Munimori rushed forward and demolished the enemy machine gun nest. Again, the men advanced, but another machine gun forced them to take cover. Munimori continued his assault with grenades and destroyed another machine gun. The enemy opened up with grenades. Munimori crawled back for more ammunition to a shell crater that shielded two of his men. As he reached the edge, an enemy grenade bounced off his helmet and into the crater. He immediately dove into the crater and smothered the deadly grenade blast. For saving two lives at the cost of his own, Private First Class Sadao Munimori was awarded the Medal of Honor. Devotion to his men and to his duty exemplified the highest ideals of the code of conduct.
And now, Act two of yours truly, Johnny Dollar and the Wayward Trout Matter.
What is it?
Hey, Johnny.
Huh? Oh, it's Buster.
You all right in there, Johnny?
Oh, sure, I'm all right. Here, look. Holy, what time is it anyway?
Almost 9 o'clock. Oh, look at those big red eyes.
Yeah, you aren't kidding. I feel as though Where's Gordon Hatch?
Went out fishing at the crack of dawn. Said you'd promised to go with him, but he pounded on your door and finally gave up. Johnny, you look like you...
Hey, Buster, the folks you were expecting in from Los Angeles.
Yeah, they came right after I left you and Mr. Hatch last night. 6 of them. I figured you wanted to be alone with Hatch to sort of feel him out.
Yeah, I did. But is everything all right?
Yes, so far as I know. And the point is, did you learn anything from Mr. Hatch last night?
Only that he claims to have turned over a new leaf, is now the soul of integrity.
Yeah? Well, I wonder.
You say he's out fishing, huh?
That's right.
Know where he went?
Well, one of his favorite holes, one I told him about, is in the big basin about 10 miles up the lake.
What about the folks from L.A.?
They're still asleep in their cabins. Look, Johnny, like I told you, Hatch isn't the kind to try any rough stuff, even against Mr. Fellows, the lawyer who sent him up one time.
And he's here with that party?
He's the one that organized it, made the reservations. Now, listen, Johnny, I may be all wrong about Hatch.
In spite of his threat to get even with Fellows?
Well, I mean, maybe he's gone straight. He certainly acts like a nice enough guy.
Well, the only thing I can do is keep an eye on him. If he makes a play, I'll nab him. If he doesn't, well, my trip out here will have been wasted.
Wasted? I thought you and I were going to do some fishing.
Oh, well, now that's different. Ooh. Hey, I better get some breakfast in me.
Yeah, sure. I'll tell Mary over at the cafe to have it ready for you.
Yeah, okay, Buster. Sunny side up and with plenty of strong, dark black coffee. My head felt like it might split open any second, and I was more sure than ever that Hatch had poured me a Mickey last night. Yet he had expected me to go out on the lake with him this morning. Must have been nearly 10 a.m. by the time I'd showered, shaved, dressed, and joined Buster at the little cafe. Already, half a dozen early morning anglers had come back to boast about their catches and the big ones that got away.
Now, don't you tell us all, Buster, but that big one, Buster, he must have been 8.5 pounds.
Yeah, I'm sure it was, Mr. Hector.
Well, the place I lost him was in the second cove this side of the dam by the big square rock.
Second cove this side of the dam, did you say?
That's right next to the big square rock.
Hey, Jim, I know a great spot for us to try this afternoon. Yeah, I heard that too.
Now, don't you tell us all about that spot, Buster.
Cross my heart, Mr. Hector.
Good. Say, Henry, I want to tell you about a place I found this morning.
Feeling any better, Johnny?
Yeah, much. Now, listen. If Gordon Hatch is up here after the money and jewelry of Mr. Fellows and his party, or for any reason at all connected with them, I think you and I had better hop into a boat and get...
Mr. Fellows.
Oh, yes, Miss Fellows. Good morning.
Please come outside quickly.
Come on, Johnny.
All right.
Miss Fellows, this is Johnny Dollar, friend of mine, special investigator.
Oh, thank goodness you're here, Mr. Dollar. Buster, we'd been robbed.
What? When, Mrs. Fellows?
Sometime during the night. All our jewelry, Mrs. Harkins and Mrs. Peterson's and mine. Why, it must be hundreds of thousands of dollars worth. My diamond brooch alone is worth...
I see you found him, Martha.
Yes, Ralph. Oh, this is Mr. Dollar, and he's some kind of an investigator.
Good. I've heard of you, Dollar.
I've told them, Ralph, about the jewelry.
Yeah, well, whoever did it got our money, too. With all we brought along to gamble in Vegas, it must be over $20,000. But how he managed to sneak into our cabins...
And without waking us, too.
Of course, we were pretty tired last night.
Well, good morning.
Oh, Mr. Pratt.
Oh, what seems to be the... Johnny, glad to see you.
How are you, Ham? I got some bad news for you.
Yeah, Ham, it looks like he's done it.
Oh? Gordon Hatch?
Yeah. Better make a thorough search of his cabin.
Gordon Hatch?
Oh, no.
I'm afraid so.
Great Scott.
So, Ham, look in his luggage, under the mattresses, anywhere else you can think of.
Right, Johnny.
Mr. Dollar, do you mean to say that Gordon Hatch is here at this point?
Better look in his car, too, Ham. Under the car and the upholstery.
Look here now, Mr. Dollar.
Sorry, Mr. Fellows. I'll have to talk to you later. Come on, Buster. You and I are going for a boat ride.
Act 3 of yours truly, Johnny Dollar, in a moment.
Our flag now numbers 50 stars, and behind each star there stands yet another flag representing one of the 50 states. Pennsylvania's flag of dark blue carries a coat of arms depicting her agricultural and maritime pursuits. Her state motto is inscribed beneath it. As the home of the Liberty Bell and the Declaration of Independence, the motto is most befitting: virtue, liberty, and independence. Pennsylvania's state flag, the flag of the second state to enter the Union, was adopted on June 13th, 1907.
And now, Act 3 of yours truly, Johnny Dollar, and the Wayward Trout Matter.
Lake Mojave was calm as a mill pond. And Buster made the spray fly as we headed almost due north up toward the big basin. But we didn't have to go that far. Buster, with the sharpest eyes I've ever known, spotted the ripples from the wake of a boat that had pulled into a deep, winding cove on the Arizona side.
Hang on, Johnny. Looks to me like Hatch's boat went in that cove.
You mean to say you can tell what boat made that wake?
Plain as a pair of footprints in the sand when the lake is calm like this.
First thing I want to do is inspect that boat of his.
You think he might have the jewelry and money on board?
He's too smart to have left them around the cabin or his car.
Look, that's his boat in there, all right. Tied up that low, rocky ledge that sticks out.
What under the sun is he doing there, between his boat and that ledge?
Well, it looks to me like he's trying to hide something there in the water. But we'll soon find out.
Well, Buster, Mr. Dollar, it looks like you've caught me in the act.
Yeah, it kind of looks that way, doesn't it, Hatch? What were you so busy shoving down in the water between your boat and that ledge when we pulled up?
I figured no one would find it here, Mr. Dollar.
Yeah, I'll bet.
But I decided to move the live box into this hidden cove when I first came out this morning.
The live box?
Well, after all, it was you who warned me someone might try to steal some of these beautiful fish I've caught, and I'm keeping alive in it. But as long as you found me out, well, here, take a look at them.
Another thing here on his boat, John.
Here, look at them. Ever see such a nice mess of bass in your life?
Yeah, they're beauties.
And that trout on the bottom. I got him way up the lake yesterday morning. Must be 10 pounds.
That the one you plan to have stuffed?
That's the one.
Well, you better have it done pretty soon. He looks dead to me.
Yes, he was this way when I came out this morning. So, when I'm through fishing today, I'll head back to L.A. with him to a taxidermist.
Hatch, there's something I want to talk to you about.
I know, Dollar. But it's your own fault.
Huh?
I pounded on your door till I thought I'd wake the dead.
Oh, no, that isn't...
However, since you're here now, well, why not keep our fishing date now?
Mr. Hatch, will you
Darn it, though, I don't have an extra rod in my boat.
Well, come on, Johnny. I'll give you one out of my boat, rod and reel.
Oh, yeah, sure, okay.
Dollar, I'll take you to fishing spots even Buster doesn't know about.
Not a sign of the jewels and stuff on his boat, Johnny. He even went through his tackle box. Well, maybe he's hidden the stuff somewhere along the shore. If he's the one who took it.
He looks and talks as innocent as a baby. So the only thing I can do is keep an eye on him and try to feel him out.
Come on, boys. Time's a-wasting.
Oh, here, Johnny, you try this rod on for size.
Well, that looks good to me.
And here, take along a couple of these fast-strike minnow hooks. If anything, they'll get you big bass. They sure will.
Yeah, or maybe a trout like the one that Mr...
What's the matter, Johnny?
Come on, Buster.
What? What's the matter?
Well, it's about time. What were you two gabbing about over there?
Say, Hatch, I want another look in the live box at that big trout.
I don't blame you a bit. Well, step into the boat. Now raise the top so you can really see it.
No, I think I'll pull the whole contraption up here on the ledge.
That'll take the fish out of the water.
Well, you said that trout was dead early this morning.
Well, that's right.
Then why is he on the bottom of this thing? Why isn't he floating belly up? Here now.
I don't know, but I don't see what... Now, wait, what are you doing? Oh, those beautiful fish in there will die like the trout.
Oh, I just want a real close look at that trout.
Oh, just a minute.
These live ones will hold still long enough for me to...
Dollar, put them back in the water.
Here we are. Ooh, 10 pounds?
Look here now.
Why, this fish weighs 20 pounds if he weighs an ounce.
Dollar?
And no wonder the way you've got him stuffed full of... Oh, how about this? A beautiful diamond brooch. No wonder you decided to get back to L.A. And not to stuff this trout, but to unstuff him. And how about this bracelet? Emeralds, aren't they? And look at these nice new $100 bills. A bit wet, perhaps?
You're holding more than money and jewels in your hand, Dollar.
Oh, now, put that thing away.
I'm talking about your life. And I won't hesitate to pull this trigger unless you toss that money and those jewels into this boat.
While I toss this over at you, Mr. Hatch?
Put it down, Buster, or I'll shoot you, too. Toss me the jewels, Dollar. Toss them. And Buster, stay where you are.
How about the whole trout, Mr. Hatch? All right, drop that.
Boy, Johnny, you really clobbered him.
Yeah, but... Oh, Buster, if you hadn't thrown that oar...
and if you hadn't hit him in the face with that wet fish, Johnny, he would have plugged you.
Yeah, Buster, I always did like trout. Expense account total, including boat and bait, for 5 days of really great fishing, cabin rental and meals, and trip back to Hartford, $815 even. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Let's take a moment to talk about something very vital to every fighting man, to every man in the armed forces today. That vital thing is esprit de corps, or as we say it in English, team spirit. Between the few great wars in which the United States has been involved, our fighting men have had to settle small but deadly vicious rebellions around the world to protect our citizens and other interests. In those comparatively peaceful days, it took more than the waving of the flag and the sound of martial music to make boys grow into men in double quick time. It took that esprit de corps about which you've heard so much. One instance when that team spirit came in mighty handy in fashioning a code of conduct that helped save men's lives took place on the morning of September 24th, 1911, in the Philippine Islands. A shore party from the USS Pampang was moving in to capture the town of Mundang on the island of Basilan during an uprising of native Moros. Along the trail, the small party came upon a group of native huts. Hospital apprentice Fred McGuire was standing by in case he was needed for treatment of wounds. Suddenly, the Moro bandits opened fire from ambush in the huts and other concealed positions, dropping the sailors like flies. McGuire, essentially a non-combatant, grabbed a rifle, charged the attackers, and after a furious fight, routed the bandits. Although he was wounded in the bloody fight, McGuire tirelessly tended to the wounds of the fallen sailors, thereby saving their lives before he considered his own condition. Fred McGuire's belief in team spirit was exemplified by his conduct in doing a job that had to be done, a job which earned him the Medal of Honor.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, starring Bob Bailey, originates in Hollywood and is produced and directed by Jack Johnstone, who also wrote today's story. Heard in our cast were Eleanor Audley, Larry Dobkin, Barney Phillips, Edgar Barrier, Junius Matthews, Russell Thorson, and Alan Reed. Be sure to join us next week, same time and station, for another exciting story of yours truly, Johnny Dollar. This is Dan Cubberly speaking.
April 19th, 1958. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Coming up next, Claudia.
Joe? Joe?
Yes, dear.
Joe, I smelled something burning.
Well, have you checked that roast you have in the oven lately?
Joe, I'm serious. Joe, there's smoke pouring out of the kitchen.
Hey, you're right. The wastebasket's on fire.
What are you doing?
Putting a cover over the wastebasket, smothering the fire.
That's right, Joe. To make a fire, 3 things are necessary.
Fuel to burn, heat to make it burn, and air to keep it burning.
Take any one of these 3 away, and there can be no fire.
In Joe's case, he took the air away so the fire couldn't burn. He could have cooled the fire by dousing it with water. No heat.
Or he could have removed the fire itself, got it outside where it couldn't spread by using a shovel, broom, rake, or other tool.
Be prepared. Know how to fight fires in your home.
For your own protection, your local civil defense director urges you to learn now.
Now, a show a lot of you enjoy, and it is the soap opera Claudia, sponsored by Coca-Cola. This episode of the show was originally broadcast 76 years ago, April 19th, 1948.
Your Coca-Cola bottler presents Claudia, based on the famous play and novels by Rose Franken. Brought to you transcribed Monday through Friday by your friendly neighbor who bottles Coca-Cola. Relax, and while you're listening, refresh yourself. Have a Coke. And now, Claudia.
David, listen. David, listen to the birds. Aren't they wonderful? David, you old sleepyhead. Here we have the most beautiful alarm clock in the world. You don't even listen to it.
What time is it?
It's morning.
You mean it's after midnight? Good night.
It's really morning. Listen to the birds. They're singing. They want you to get up, and so do I. Only not much.
You mean if I open my eyes, I'll see light?
You'll see sunlight. It's streaming in the room, David.
Then I won't open them.
Ever since we moved to the country, you've been sleepy.
Shh. I'm asleep.
Oh, I just love to lie here all day listening to the birds singing to us. I feel like Adam and Eve.
Where's the snake?
I feel like Adam and Eve before the snake came. Oh, it's wonderful living in the country, so quiet and peaceful.
It was quiet and peaceful until someone I know started talking. Now, shh. I'm going back to sleep.
Then I'm going to listen to the birds.
What kind of birds are they, do you know?
I was just going to ask you that.
Oh, they're parrots and nightingales and ostriches and pheasants.
What's that? And doves. Don't forget the doves. They must be doves because it's so peaceful. David, what was that?
One of your doves just fell out of the tree.
I wonder what he fell on. I never heard such a noise.
I don't like to say this, but your dove is falling upstairs.
David, do you think there are ghosts in the house?
Ghosts with hobnailed boots.
Coming this way.
I'm going back to sleep.
David, what is it?
It's the most dangerous of all ghosts. It's the carpenter.
David, he came right in this room. Don't you think we ought to tell him we're here?
I'm not sure I know how.
And I'll tell him. Excuse me, sir. I mean, we're still in bed.
Oh, hiya, folks. Just act as though I'm not here. Gotta finish this wiring job into the annex before we put up the lab.
David, he's just going to stay here.
Wonderful. Now, I really don't have to get up.
I don't want to stay in bed all day long.
Darling, it's so nice and peaceful. Now, shh. I'm asleep.
Hey, Billy. Push that wire up to the wall. I'm not getting you.
Can't hear you.
Push that wire up, Billy. You got me?
David, don't you have to go to the office today?
Quiet. I'm trying to hear the birds.
Now I know what kind of birds they are. They're woodpeckers.
They're wide-throated nail drivers. That's what they are.
Okay, Billy, I'm getting you now.
Claudia, why didn't you tell me? I've got to get up.
You can't just go and leave me here.
There must be some way we can get him to go hammer somewhere else for a while. Preferably on Billy's head. Excuse me.
How's that, mister?
I wonder if you could go downstairs for a moment while Mrs. Norton and I get out of bed and get dressed.
Well, anything you say, mister. You're paying for it. All I know is I was told to get here an hour ahead of my regular starting time, so we could get this job finished right away quick.
Hey, Mitch.
Hold it, Billy.
What are you doing up there? Going back to sleep?
Hold your horses, Billy. I'm talking to the owner.
All of this energy is a little frightening. It's too bad you fellas didn't hurry a week ago. You might have been through today.
Well, we're doing our best, mister. So long. I'll be right outside.
Oh, that's a lot better.
I can hear the birds singing again.
Yes.
It certainly is nice and peaceful in the country.
David, what was that?
I don't know, but I'm going to find out in a hurry. Meet you downstairs.
Don't forget you have to catch a train.
Who cares about the train? I think half the house just fell in. Mr. Mitchell. Mr. Mitchell. What was that?
What was what?
That crash.
What crash?
Just now, didn't you hear it?
Oh, that. They just delivered a lot of siding and millwork.
Is that all? Sounded like an earthquake.
David, it's 7:10.
My train's in 35 minutes.
I'll get breakfast ready. You get dressed.
Hello, goodbye.
Hello, goodbye.
Hello, goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. My, you got dressed quickly. Wonderful what the country can do for a woman.
David, listen. Hey, can you hear the birds again? Dum 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 la 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 la.
Hey, Mitch, do you get me?
I get you, Billy.
It's 7:20. You got my breakfast ready?
On the stove.
Well, take it off. We'll need at least 20 minutes to get to the station. That only gives us 5 minutes to eat.
Well, it's not ready
Well,
yet.
hurry up. Doesn't it know I'm waiting?
I'm the one who's waiting, and don't rush me. Say it took you a very long time to get dressed.
Now, let me ask you something. Did you ever shave with cold water?
Didn't you get any hot water either? I thought there'd be some by the time you got there.
Yeah? Well, there wasn't. I repeat, did you ever shave with cold water?
Is it better?
Better. Let me tell you, it's like pulling out each hair with a tweezer.
Oh.
And a rusty tweezer at that.
You don't look as though anything very terrible happened.
My face feels like it's been caught in a subway door.
Subways, crowds, noises. Aren't you glad we're in the country?
Delighted. It's so peaceful. What? No crash? Every time I say that, there's been a crash. There, that's better. I wonder what it was this time.
Oh, just a couple of carpenters chopping down a tree, probably.
Isn't that coffee perking yet? And tell me, why is it so cold in this kitchen?
I don't know why it's so cold. That's your department.
My department? My department is in full retreat. What's going on in your
The
department?
coffee is not perking yet.
Let me see. No wonder. A little item here. You forgot to turn the stove on. That electric burner is as cold as the water I shaved with.
I did so turn it on. See? Look.
Let me look down here.
It isn't underneath, darling. It's up here.
Yeah, there's something not quite all right here.
Something, everything. And look, you have 23 minutes left to catch your train.
Hey, Mitch!
Maybe he brought some coffee in a thermos bottle.
I'm not reduced to pinching from other men's lunch boxes. Thank you. Hey, Mitch!
Okay, mister. What's all the noise about?
I just wondered if I could bother you for a minute. This stove isn't working.
You're very right. It isn't working. Billy and me are installing some wiring. You think we're trying to knock ourselves out?
What's he mean, David?
He means he turned the current off.
Can he do that?
Obviously.
Hey, you have 22 minutes to catch your train.
22 minutes. I'll take a glass of milk then.
Want some toast?
Where are you going to make the toast? Under the cold water?
Oh, dear. I guess you really do need electricity in the country, too.
Especially in the country where everything is so nice and peaceful.
There goes the rest of the siding.
There goes the rest of my appetite. Come on, Claudia. We've got 21 minutes to get to the station. Maybe I can get a cup of coffee on the train.
Where'd I leave my coat?
It's in the closet under the stairs. So long, Mitch.
So long.
See you tomorrow morning.
So long, mister. Oh, I hope you like it in the country.
The car doesn't start.
A little cold, that's all.
Maybe the car didn't get its breakfast coffee either. Can't you use the choke or something?
What do you think I'm using?
Oh, is that the choke?
Yes, that's the choke.
Huh.
A fat lot of good it is, too.
Maybe I ought to get out and push. We only have 18 minutes, and you said it takes 20 to the station.
Oh, I just got an idea. Maybe the train didn't get started either.
Oh, let the motor rest for a moment, then try it again.
Thanks. Thanks for the professional opinion.
That is what I'm here for, to give professional opinions. Call on me at any time.
Oh, thanks. Thanks very much. I'll do that.
Do.
Now, let's try it again. Ready? Get set. Go.
David, it's going. I told you to let it rest.
Yeah, little I told you so. Now, let's see. Now we've got only 17 minutes left.
And it takes 20.
Now, let's back out of here. Now what?
That truck, look, is turning in our driveway.
Well, that's just great. We'll either have to go over it or under it, or he'll have to back up.
Did he hear you?
Hey! Hey, you in that truck! Back up!
He wants you to back up.
Me? That isn't going to do any good. Hey! Hey, you!
Stop.
Back up! Back up! Back up!
He heard you. He's backing up.
Well, he's awfully slow about it. What does he think this is, anyhow? Doesn't anybody around here realize that people have to go to the work in the morning?
Well, that's what they're all doing, isn't it, going to work?
Hey, whose side are you on?
Oh, look, darling. Isn't River Road beautiful early in the morning? I think early in the morning is the best time of all.
There's still a mist on those fields down by the brook. Looks nice, doesn't it?
Everything looks so quiet, half asleep. And still, you know, there's all kinds of life inside it, don't you?
I know the carpenters and the plumbers aren't asleep, if that's what you mean.
No, I mean the fields. They look as if they were still asleep. But if you stopped and listened, you could hear the birds and the frogs. Aren't they full of rabbits and cows, though?
Teeming with them.
I like the country.
I like it better with warm water and coffee for breakfast, but I like it, too.
Oh, the country doesn't care if you notice it or not. It isn't like New York, where everything tries to make you stare at it. Here, everything is just there. Leaves the rest up to you. I think that's a nice way to be, don't you?
I think you're a nice way to be, darling.
David, we've only got 14 minutes to make your train.
And we won't be able to make any time when we get near the station. Too many cars.
Look at all the people. Where they all come from.
From the same kind of places we came from.
David, it's the first time I've really realized you're leaving.
But only for the day. It's just the same as my going to the office in New York.
No, but you're getting on a train, so it isn't the same thing at
Now,
all.
don't be lonesome, darling. It's just for today. Remember, I'm bringing Mama up tonight.
Please don't miss your train tonight.
I'm going to miss my train this morning if we just sit here talking.
We're almost only a block from the
We
station.
may never get any nearer. Look at all the other commuters. There comes the train. I'll have to run. Goodbye, darling.
Goodbye.
Now, don't do anything foolish.
No.
And you'd better get some breakfast before you go home.
Oh, David, goodbye. I'm glad we had so much trouble this morning.
Glad?
Well, this way all I had time to think about was getting you to the station on time. No time to think how much I hate to watch you go away. Goodbye, darling.
Goodbye, darling.
Goodbye.
So long, Mrs. Naughton.
So long.
Having a club meeting or an afternoon bridge? Wondering what to serve? If you want to keep the bills down and the company happy, just order a case of Coca-Cola. See that there's plenty on ice, and what goes with it doesn't much matter. Moreover, there'll be precious little bother for you. And it goes without saying that everyone enjoys a party more when the hostess doesn't have to exert herself.
Say, Mr. King, do you happen to know if Mr. Norton made his train?
Well, he made it all right, but by the proverbial skin of his teeth.
Oh, good, good. Well, we'll get finished with their house as soon as we can, and the Nortons really will start to enjoy living in the country.
Well, I think they will like it, in spite of you and Billy, Mitch.
Say, how come they moved up to Eastbrook? Do they know many folks around here?
I don't think they do know any Eastbrookers, and that's one thing that Claudia's going to start working on tomorrow.
Well, I hope she likes us.
Think she will. She's going to meet some of her neighbors tomorrow. It'll be a little unconventional, but she'll meet them. Wait and see how.
I'll be around. So long, Mr. King.
So long. And as I was about to say, every day, Monday through Friday, Claudia comes to you transcribed with the best wishes of your friendly neighbor who bottles Coca-Cola. So listen again tomorrow at the same time. And now this is Joe King saying au revoir. And remember, whoever you are, whatever you do, wherever you may be, when you think of refreshment, think of Coca-Cola. For Coca-Cola makes any pause the pause that refreshes. And ice-cold Coca-Cola is everywhere. These broadcasts are adapted for and directed by William Brown Maloney.
And there you have it, Claudia, as it was broadcast April 19th, 1948. Thank you so much for joining us here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Visit our webpage, classicradio.stream. Tomorrow, 4 shows from 1958, the exact same day, April 20th, 1958. And we'll see you tomorrow for more Classic Radio Theater. I'm Wyatt Cox.